odds of making money on a meme coin are less than actually gambling on roulette.
Luna PR branding is everywhere. I saw you having dinner the other day with Elon Musk's mom.
Their token went from like 30 cents to $26 in like less than a year. It was just nice to sit in the sidelines and be like, yes. We contributed to that.
Do you believe in AI technology?
They come into the region, they expect to meet a couple of sheikhs who will say, yes, Habibi, take my money. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna make your life hell until you pay me 3 times of what I paid you. I think being an entrepreneur in the crypto space is just a whole other ball game. It's a whole other bald game. It'll literally make you lose hair.
Hello and welcome back to BetTalks, powered to you by 0x Processing. I'm Rick Godds and I'm joined by a very special guest. She is an entrepreneur. She is the most influential woman in crypto and blockchain 2025. She is the founder of Crypto Polo Cup. She's the founder of Luna PR and Luna Corp. Welcome, Nikita Sachdev.
Thank you. Welcome.
How are you?
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome. It's not your show, you know.
Thank you. I'm used to hosting as well, so I'm like, thank you. Welcome.
Brilliant. I've been looking forward to this one. You couldn't make it last time, and then obviously now you're eventually here. So nice having you on the show. Welcome to BetTalks. BetTalks, we discuss everything from gaming/gambling, crypto, AI, blockchain, metaverse, anything emerging tech within the UAE, Web3 alone. Which is massively your field. You're winning awards. Luna PR, I see, sort of going through the roof. Tell me more.
So Luna PR is a PR and communications agency focused on Web3 emerging and disruptive tech. Yep. So everything crypto, blockchain, everything that you just said, plus space tech, AI, robotics, anything disruptive. We love that.
Wow.
Our job is to get all this to get all these technicalities to the layman.
Yep.
And to the mainstream. And been doing this since 2017. Started my crypto career with Wobi Exchange, HTX, which was one of the first unicorns in the crypto space. And my job was I was a host, which is why I said welcome.
Yeah.
My job was a host on the platform, and I was interviewing projects. And one thing just led to another. Became better and better known through like my time in the media, and decided to start an agency. Fast forward, headquartered in Dubai, offices in London, New York, and have a team of 85 employees.
Wow. Over what period of time?
I think it was like 4 years ago. I moved to Dubai with 5 employees. So it went like really quick in the last 4 years since I moved to Dubai.
That's incredible. And obviously, you are focusing obviously on the tech space. You're doing events. I've attended many of them. One is the Crypto Polo Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. This is growing rapidly as well. Over the last sort of 3 years, I've been to each one of them. Thank you for hosting and let me come. Tell me more. What was the idea and how's it sort of emerged?
So Crypto Polo Cup really took off this year with Binance coming in as a sponsor, which took over a team, and they actually won, which was incredible press. We also gave them really good players. Yeah. But
there's no fixing going off there then.
No fixing, but like everybody wanted to play for Binance, you know, so it was all the professional players were like, yeah, we'll take the Binance team.
Yeah.
So basically a couple of years ago, my husband, Philip, loves polo and was like, let's do a polo match and let's call it like the Crypto Polo Cup. And I was like, this is such a bizarre idea. This will never take off. But like Philip was like, please, like I'll bring all the contacts. Like you just organize the event, just do it, please. So we hosted the first one and we actually got really good traction because a lot of these polo players, they come from like large family offices. They come from like a bit of like, you know, generational wealth.
Yeah.
And they're looking to get into, these new industries that we're in. They're looking to explore. So we had a keen interest from these type of people. At the same time, a lot of the crypto founders wanted to tap into the family offices and investors. And even we had like a few politicians and these movers and shakers come up, big KOLs, media, influencers, celebrities. And a lot of the crypto founders wanted access to this crowd. So it was quite interesting to see the traction we got from the first one, that we just had to bring it over to Dubai because Dubai is such a big polo hub as well, and a crypto hub.
Of course.
So last year we did the second edition. So the first one was in Palm Beach, second one in Dubai. Now third one, which you just came to as well, really took off. I mean, you were there. It was like sandbox playing with Binance. We had three polo matches that took place. One was camel polo, two were actually horse polo. So we had to make something a bit more thematic, a bit more like catered to the UAE. So the camel polo was so much fun, and it was so crypto. Like you had like our client Nero, which was like, I want to come in a space cowboy outfit and ride the camel in my space outfit with the you just had those elements of like bull market crypto, which was cool. But we always try to make sure that we have the best audience, that like we're also like curating the crowd a little bit so that it's like the people that are here for the long run, people that are like really making an impact in the industry. Great.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun event. And I was there the year before as well. And to see how much it's grown this time round was great. The weather didn't help.
It was so hot.
Unbearably hot.
It was so
I think there was a heat wave that week. Like it was
terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But saying that, I think we're looking into how to navigate that. I think we might do it in another time of the year. We were trying to peg off of Token 2049 because you have like the best crowd. Everyone's like flying in for the conference, and that's how we were able to get this international crowd, like founders of prominent crypto companies that don't live here. But I think honestly, moving forward, we've built a brand of its own that we can afford to do it not pegged to such a major conference.
Of course, yes.
Or peg it to like November, where you have Abu Dhabi Finance Week and Binance Week, Solana, Breakpoint, and like all these other conferences.
Yeah. Okay, great. So obviously everything's growing rapidly fast. Your team has expanded to 85 staff. I mean, this is incredible what you've done in 4 years. How do you find yourself doing business from the US, because obviously originally background US, to Dubai? I mean, how are you finding difference on sort of a business level?
To be honest, a lot of what I know of being an entrepreneur has been in Dubai, because when I started the company, yes, I was in Singapore first, and I had a business in Singapore prior to that. I had a talent management company, which was pretty easy to run in Singapore, but it was a cottage business. So, it didn't require so many employees, even though we had a lot of talent that we were managing. But there's only as far as you can grow in a talent management company. And when I moved over to Texas, when I started Luna PR to focus on PR communications and see how I can dabble into the Web3 space, I moved to Texas. And that's when I started really just getting to work. And to be honest, I wasn't exposed to a lot of the business life in Texas or in the US because I was locked in my mom's kitchen working 18 hours a day. That's where the business really took off, was just focusing on how to build and how to scale. Then a year after that, I moved to Dubai. Dubai really helped me. I think I came here at the right time, and I came to the right time, to the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And I think that Dubai is not for everyone. The UAE is not for everyone. But I think the only advice I can give to business owners is find out what works for you. It might not be the UAE, but find out what your market is. The UAE was an important market for me because at that time, the SEC was really crunching down on crypto companies, and a lot of them were leaving the US. And they were coming to the UAE.
Yeah.
So while all these major exchanges and protocols were trying to set up base here in the UAE, I happened to be here as well. I got into contact with a lot of major companies, and I was able to grow the brand because I started working with some prominent names from the get-go.
Yeah. I see you networking like crazy, right? Luna PR, branding is everywhere. You all of the expos, and obviously building the team. Yeah, I saw you having dinner the other day with Elon Musk's mom, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is big network, okay? What advice would you give to up-and-comers looking to come to Dubai to get in the tech space? Because it is very flooded, it's very saturated, right? Well, what advice would you give to sort of up-and-coming new people, especially women in the space?
I think saturation is a good thing. I mean, because the space is built on collaboration, not competition. So I think that you should look at it as an advantage that you can come here and you have so many people in the Web3 space, which means that you have a larger network to build. So that's how I see it. I feel like, yes, there's a lot of, and since I started Luna PR, there's been so many agencies kind of move their businesses here, open office here, or even just start from scratch over here.
Yep.
I've had so many ex-employees even try to do their own thing. So honestly, it's like there's competition for sure.
Of course.
But I think that in terms of like, so aside from the collaboration aspect, there'll always be competition.
For sure.
But just got to keep building, as we say in crypto. Just put your head down and just keep building and focus on your own business and work hard, because that speaks on its own.
For sure. I like that. Good answer. So what would a typical client for Luna PR or Luna Media Corp, what would a typical client look like for you? Because obviously Web3 is so diverse, right? There's so many different angles. What would a typical client look like for you, or what do you market for?
So there's what we like to have, and then there's also like who we cater to,
yes.
right? So who we'd like to have is simple: unicorns and those in the making. We want to work with really established and prominent companies, or we want to work with those who are going to rise to be unicorns, be established and prominent, because it's so fulfilling to work with companies that are like just on the rise and will be the next multi-billion-dollar corporation. Like that's so fulfilling. I remember a couple of years ago, we started working with a project that went from like, their token went from like 30 cents to $26 in like less than a year. And it was just like, they got so much recognition. And even though like it wasn't us that got the recognition, it was a brand, it was just nice to sit in the sidelines and be like, yes. We contributed to that.
Yeah, he was part of it.
But what we get often is anybody associated with emerging and disruptive tech. I talked about the industries just prior to this, crypto, robotics, AI, space tech. We've had clients from all those verticals. What we look for is, I guess, clients that they have a product or service that's ready. They have a good foundation. They have funding runway. They have a strong team. They have backers and partners. They have like basically, and a bonus point is if they already have like a revenue generating business model, because it doesn't put the pressure on them. A lot of times clients come to us to get revenue, and we always tell them like, PR will indirectly get you revenue, but don't come to us we're not your sales team.
No.
We're here to bring you exposure and awareness. And I think a good product is very easy to market. So we always look for a good product or a good service or something that has demand, because honestly, the media like when the media is actually engaged, that's when we get the tier ones. That's when we can entice Bloomberg journalists, because they are enticed by the narrative, so that's our ideal client.
Media is everything, huh?
Media is everything. Yeah.
So do you get clients coming to you looking for investors, looking to raise funds, and
all the time? Yeah, all the time. And I think so that's something that like we again don't guarantee. Like, we're not a sales company, and we're not a investor.
Fund, yeah.
We're not an investment fund. We have a private investment. So I own a private investment firm called Luna Capital, where we make strategic investments. So let's say we have a client looking for funding. We love their product. We 100% believe in them. We will subsidize their fee, and we'll get some skin in the game. So we'll say, okay, like pay half the retainer and half in a SAFT or a SAFE. So we'll use our investment fund for that. And sometimes we'll even invest cash straight up. So we do have that private investment firm. But we sometimes get clients that are like looking to raise too much money like that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's
Crazy talk, I call it.
like it's like 2017, and we're like, we sometimes have to reject them.
Yeah.
If it's a more realistic valuation, I was recently on a show called Crypto Nights where I was a judge, like it was like Shark Tank. So you know, I know a thing or two on like the investment side. So I'm able to kind of advise clients a little bit on like whether their valuation makes sense, what they're looking for, and it's like what I said earlier. It's the criteria fits exactly our PR criteria. Do you have a strong team? Do you have a working product? Is this a revenue generating business
Any cash
model?
flow coming?
Yeah. Is there
important.
demand for it in the market? Who are your other backers and partners?
Yeah.
You know, like if I see that, okay, you're already backed by like a Sequoia or Pantera, I'll be like, okay, cool. I mean, they've done the DD for me. So cool, come in.
What you'll find, especially with a lot of these crypto projects, especially, let's say, look back at the ICO. I mean, I've been around crypto since 2017, just before the ICO crash, right? A lot of these projects was just an idea, raising funds, huge funds.
Millions.
Yeah, tens of millions on an idea with zero business model in place, right? Then this sort of ICO crash, then you sort of get the NFTs coming through. Now we've got these sort of meme tokens. I mean, what's next? Where do you see the market going next?
You know, what's crazy about these meme coins is that it just shows you like that everyone in the crypto space is just a gambler. You know, at the end of the day, it's like the odds of making money on a meme coin are less than actually gambling on roulette. Like that's a fact.
Yeah.
And I mean, so where are we going next? I think like, look, right now we're in the middle of a bull run. Bitcoin just hit 105K again just this morning, so it's like, you know, about to hit maybe another all-time high. Ethereum had a fantastic spike,
but had a huge tank last month, right?
Yeah, but like, you know, it's making up for that, and it's already at 2,500 today. We're seeing the altcoins shake up and finally like go for a run. Meme coins are shaking up again in a good way. They're, you know, but I think that all of this is short term, right? Like I think that I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but I do believe that Bitcoin is the godfather. So I'm very optimistic on Bitcoin. I think there's a couple of altcoins that I'm pretty optimistic on as well. Sui, as an example, they're also my clients, so maybe I'm a bit biased, but Ton is another one. I think with, you know, 900 million users on Telegram, like they have like pretty good foundation. And so, yeah, I am bullish on a couple of alts as well. I think that where we're going is that the retail investors are getting smarter. They're getting savvier. They're able to kind of do their own DD. So it's not as easy to raise from retail investors anymore, or even let alone institutions and VCs, right? So you're seeing people put a little bit more research. Not everyone can just launch a token now and get to 50 mil market cap. No. I think we saw this a couple of months ago where, you know, it's just like, I guess every cycle, maybe I'm thinking short term, maybe it's just this moment in time, but I think I'm just seeing investors become a bit more savvy.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, listen, you're very knowledgeable on the market, right? And you've been in the sector for a long time. You've got a lot of high-end clients in the space. Is crypto gambling?
That's a good question. Honestly, meme coins are gambling, right? Okay. Like 100%. Meme coins are a gamble, and everybody knows that. There's like no utility. It's like you're basically punting on like this might, you know, make $100 might go to $1 million, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
it's a bit dreamland though.
Yeah, but and saying that, I want to say crypto's not, because I'm such an advocate for the space. But like, we've seen some major crypto companies collapse already just this month.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, there's many. I mean, look at USDT. USDT is under investigation with the FCA weekly, right? Okay,
so Mantra. Right?
Okay. I know Mantra very well.
$5 billion.
I know the founders of Mantra. I invest in Mantra at like 25 cents.
Did you lose?
No, I cashed out at like $4.50. So I did very well.
That's very good.
But they pulled the plug at $8.
I mean, I lost money, you know. I lost a lot of money on that because like I knew the founders too.
I know them. Yeah.
And I was just like, cool, like RWA, and you're doing all these partnerships with like massive companies.
Yeah.
And RWA has been such a hot topic right now. But like, how did that happen? And like, honestly, like
that's the biggest rug pull I've ever seen in the market.
It's just so bad for the industry, though.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's just like
terrible.
we, FTX collapse is what caused the last bear market.
Yeah.
So I was pretty like devastated when that happened, because I was like, shit, please don't let this be the start of the bear run.
It's not good for the market. But then that's where the market is unregulated, right?
Yeah.
So there are regulations. You've got VARA, but that's not stopping these sort of rug pulls from happening. Okay. So if you look at a NASDAQ listed company, right, this is not possible. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Right? It's highly regulated.
Yeah.
So how you can compare the crypto market to the NASDAQ stock market, right? It beats me, because it's not a comparison, is it?
I think law enforcement is being able to crack down on a lot of founders. So I just don't see how any founder can do that now and think that they can get away with it.
It's happening.
But they will get cracked down on.
Because you're talking hundreds of millions here.
Billions.
If not billions.
Yeah. It was like $5 billion.
That's mental.
Maybe more. I don't know. It was like crazy.
Yeah. Wow. So it is a bit of a Wild West out there, right? But there is framework in place, right? I'm sure your client base obviously work on framework. Do you advise licensing legislation such as VARA in place for your clients? 0x processing are focused mainly on two things: acceptance rate and security, achieving an unprecedented level by combining proprietary blockchain infrastructure with broad account security measures. 0x processing, crypto payments for your business.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we can only do so much on. And also, like, in terms of like our research and understanding like how these companies are regulated, we always ask our clients, like, are you a security or are you utility? If you are one or the other, can we see a legal opinion letter? So we always try to do that type of research. If they don't have a legal opinion letter, we encourage them to get one.
Yeah.
But that's as far as we can go, to be honest, because at the end of the day, like, a scammer will scam us if they need to, right? Like, again, like, look at Mantra. Like, who would have known? Like, I invested in that, you know? So who would have known that, like, it was going to dump? And with all the major partnerships, with all the licensing and regulation, like, does it even matter? Like,
even if you got these places, things in place, right?
Yeah.
This just tanks, yeah? They just tank. And yeah, it's very Wild West, which scares a lot of people. It's not good for the market, and it's not good for real sustainable projects. But then 99% of projects in this market fail, right?
Yeah. And then, like, now also with the rise of AI, it's like, look at the Bybit hack that happened, the $1.1 billion. Okay. Like that. So imagine both of that happened in the same month, the Mantra case, Bybit. So I think it's just about like it's just about like, you know, not your wallet, not your keys.
Yeah.
Like keeping that in mind and investors becoming more savvy.
Agreed. I went to an AI event last night, and they were looking to raise $150 million to build this robot that's 3 times the size of a human being.
That's scary.
All right. And they're going to build the software. Apparently this robot's going to have feelings, it's going to have emotions, and et cetera, et cetera. This robot is 3 times the size of a human, and they're going to integrate it into human day-to-day life. My question was, you're going to build this robot, and it's going to fit into human life, day-to-day living. How is that robot going to fit through that door frame?
It'll probably be able to shrink itself, no?
Their question was, we're figuring that out. I mean,
it's kind of scary. Like,
yeah.
Imagine something 3 times your size walking around. Like,
yeah.
What if it like accidentally crushes you or something? Like, you know, people need to be careful what they're building.
I mean, listen, you got to look like this Tesla. I mean, there's robots walking around and stuff like that. So you see these at conferences, at expos. So, I mean, do you believe in AI technology?
Of course, yeah. I'm a huge advocate for it.
Right.
Like, I think that it's like in the next 5 years, a lot of jobs will be replaced by AI and robotics.
Well, I mean, ChatGPT has changed the world, right?
100%. Like Luna PR had 100 employees. You know, there were some roles that just kind of went redundant.
Yeah. Content writers, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the amount of research that we're able to do now in a shorter period of time, we're able to give our account executives and account managers a little bit more workload. So because of like the how we're using AI. So, and we're building an AI tool as well, like internally, a PR tool.
Wow.
So like 100% full throttle on AI.
So you've got so much going off, this media, Luna Media Corp, you've got Luna PR, you've got the investment fund. I mean, you're out networking all the time, at all conferences, meeting new clients. What advice would you give on networking?
Okay. Honestly, the best thing that I can advise is a book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Okay.
It's like the best.
There's a movie on that.
I haven't seen the movie.
There's a movie on that, yeah.
It's like, honestly, it's like, it's so hard to make sure that you're networking right. And that book just gives you all the advice you need to make sure that like, you're just being able to like immerse yourself in the right conversation with the right people and like respect and demand their attention.
Yeah,
in a way where it's like, so I love that book. I try to read it like every few years to like refresh my memory.
And it shows your sort of kind of importance kind of thing.
Yeah.
Without sort of delivering it in the wrong way. Yeah.
So like how to network, read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Okay, cool. Yeah. There is a movie about that. I'm sure it came from the book. So to check it out. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah. It's like simple things like remembering people's names.
Yep.
Allowing people to talk more and just be a good listener, how to respond, how to empathize with people. So it's quite nice. It's like even like simple things about like smiling and the small talk, like, hey, how's your day? Or giving a simple compliment like, oh, I love your jacket. You look great. It's like, it just puts like a positive feeling in people's minds. So I try to execute all the lessons from that book.
Sure. I mean, I've been around the sort of I've done networking. A big part of the sort of iGaming sector, same as crypto sphere space, is all about networking, meeting new clients, meeting new PSPs, meeting new affiliates, new operators. And one thing I learned, and a very, very successful guy told me this, and he'll definitely be listening to this podcast as well, is never ask for anything. And what I mean by that is, you eventually got to ask for some things. You got to explain your pitch on who you are and what is it you do. But especially when you're meeting high net worth individuals, right? They've already heard this a billion times, right? And eventually, if you build enough value into something, they'll ask you.
100%. This is what I try to tell my team all the time as well. It's like, when we're working with clients as well, it's like, I don't want to go up to people and be like, hey, you should sign up with Luna PR.
Oh, we can do this,
like,
we can do that, we can do this, A billion things,
Like, first of all, like, we don't need to be desperate. Like, we want to work with select projects and make sure that they're right for us too. So it's as much as a vetting out process for us as it is for them. And this kind of thesis has really helped us be a little bit more like streamlined with who we want to work with, but also just try to build more of a relationship with the clients to see if it is someone we want to work with and if we are someone they want to work with too.
Things take time.
They do. Like I don't like the transactional, the whole like transactional field to thing. And that, you were asking me earlier about like the difference about like working in Dubai. Dubai is very transactional.
Yeah. But I mean, they say, listen, I've been in Dubai 6 years, right? That the lifespan of people in Dubai is average around 2 years.
Yeah.
And they generally fade out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you know what the thing is, like, sorry, I'm going to correct myself. Dubai has become very transactional. One thing I liked was I was on a panel once with, I think it was the CEO of DMCC, and a few like Emirati investors on my panel. And my question to them was, a lot of companies move to the UAE because they expect funding from the Middle East. The Middle East is known for having tremendous wealth ready to be deployed into tech projects. This is like almost like a stigma that people have, and it may be true. However, they come into the region, they expect to meet a couple of sheikhs who will say, yes, Habibi, take my money.
Yeah, no
That's
problem.
not how it works, right? Everything is relationship based. You have to work on building a relationship and show value.
100%.
It's not going to happen overnight. No. It takes time, like you said. So I think this is something that a lot of people need to understand before coming to the UAE and thinking that like, I'm going to get some transactions done. No. Take a step back, build a relationship, build a foundation. You're going to have to be here for a couple of years. And with a good product or service, then you can expect to get your funding.
100%. And I always think, I'm not saying that every project doesn't need funding, it does. But I believe in the funding comes from scaling, okay? Now, when people say, oh yeah, but I need to raise 100 mil. For what? Like, why don't you start and actually work, right? And then when it's sustainable with a few employees, then look to raise because you actually have some framework.
100%.
I'm not saying I don't believe in fundraising. I do. And I think for the right projects that have actually got some value and you want to take things to the next level, that's when funding comes into place.
You know what? This is something that I keep telling my clients as well. Hence why I said a revenue generating model is so important, because if you don't need funding, why dilute yourself? I think a lot of people have this ICO mentality that like, oh, I'm going to raise 50 mil off an idea. Those days are gone. And I don't even want to work with those projects because they're not going to make it, or they're pump and dumps, right? So, and like, I don't know how anybody would even raise 50 mil in this day and age, because investors have become so savvy to all of this. But honestly, Luna PR is generating a 8-figure revenue every year, and that's completely bootstrapped. So if I could do it, then I feel like, you know, and it was like a step. It was like, think of a staircase where I had to grow vertically and horizontally at the same time. More clients, more employees. More clients, more employees. More clients, more employees.
Correct.
But like, I think it's a step-by-step process that people need to understand.
100% agree. Cash flow business creates growth. Just going back to what you were saying, that investors wasn't as smart back then. I think they always was smart, but I think there was a lot of hype. I'm not saying that people wasn't raising 50 million, but there was a lot of hype, right? And I don't believe a lot of these stories. I think there was a lot. I don't believe that people invested in Bitcoin at early stages and then held it because they got a 3,000% exit. They would have cashed out. Fact. Right? So I don't believe anyone held anything.
No way.
No way.
Do you know what my first ICO was that I invested in? $6,000 in a freaking banana coin. Okay?
Wow, okay.
And do you know what their business model was? That they had some really rare bananas out of like Indonesia or something that were selling at a premium. And the money was going to be used to buy the palm trees from which the bananas grow, and then they were gonna generate revenue off of these bananas and put it towards the coin, and the coin actually went up. So like at some point my 6K 3x to 18K, and then it just collapsed like zero. It was like such a rug pull, you know. It was just so stupid back then.
And that's what, 2017, 18, 16, 17, 18, all right? And,
17,
and this kind of stuff is still happening, right? So the market is... I'm not saying it's not going anywhere, but it's still the same sort of issues are happening.
Yeah, but like if someone came to me now with like a banana coin, I'd be like, piss off. Like I literally, like,
get out of my face.
Now I'm privy to it, you know?
Of course, And that takes time, obviously, with the market, a lot changes. So we've discussed, obviously, your involvement within crypto. You're very engaged within the sector. A lot of clients. Luna PR is growing rapidly, which congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What's your thoughts on gambling becoming regulated within the UAE come 2027?
Aren't we already gambling? Right?
I mean, this is a different form, obviously. Land-based casino, the win, is coming to Marjan Island. Okay. Here at BetTalks, it's one of the main conversations we talk about. Okay. You've been here, you've established business here. How do you see gambling becoming more regulated? Well, coming regulated here in the UAE?
I think it's great. Look, like you go to a casino in Vegas and London, it's full of Arabs anyway, so might as well bring it in here and just regulate it a bit.
Great answer.
But I think like the Wynn Casino is wonderful. Like honestly, they're one of the largest casinos in the world, and it's like a stunning resort. I'm actually there in Vegas the end of this month. I think, I think it's about time. Dubai is like a playground as it is. So
Agreed.
The only thing they're missing is the casino component, and you literally have an adult Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, they've just released that Disneyland is coming to the UAE, right?
That too, yeah.
In
That
Abu Dhabi,
too.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you've got the gambling side of it, and then you've got the fun park side of it. I mean, it's never ending, this, right?
I'm just worried about the traffic.
Yeah.
It's already so bad here. I'm just worried about how bad it's going to get.
Well, hopefully it'll push that traffic out of Dubai and sort of we make it a
Go
bit
to
more
Ras Al
free.
Khaimah,
Go to Ras Al Khaimah, yeah. It is. There is some downsides of living in Dubai, but it is the best city in the world, in my opinion. It's why we live here. It's why you have your businesses here.
It's the best.
Tell me some benefits and downsides of Dubai. What's your core benefits of being in Dubai?
You have everything, literally like everything at your fingertips. Dubai is a city that is so easy to live, like so comfortable. You can afford to get a helper here, a cook, a driver, whatever you need, a nanny. Like you have some of the best schools. You have great universities,
Healthcare.
no crime, great healthcare. It's just like you have all the boxes checked for you. Downside, yes, it gets hot. Like, okay, you're gonna go to Europe for 4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
You know. But at the same time, like, I get it. Like, it's a city where you need to have money to live. Like, you need to be making a decent amount of money here to be able to live comfortably. Otherwise, it's very difficult. It's not like, I think for people that can't afford all the benefits, or the housing or the rent with some of the apartments, like I think it is a difficult city to live in, which makes it a competitive place. That's why people are hustling here all the time. You know, people are constantly networking. There's always events. There's always something to do. You have like this like hustle entrepreneur type of mentality here. Everyone's trying to survive.
Agreed.
So I think that's a pro and con. The other cons is that, I think that, I mean, it's not a con, but I think that it's a new culture, right? So it's not a con, but it's an adjustment that a lot of people need to make when they come here, is to just abide and just learn and understand the culture here.
Yeah.
Because it is different from the Western world.
100%.
And you just have to respect that.
Yeah. I always say that you've got to be on your game in Dubai.
Yeah.
If not, you're going to get pushed out.
Yeah.
And you're going to get left behind.
100%.
Yeah. This is not a place for the faint-hearted. You've got to be ahead of the game. Like you say, living costs is through the roof. And there's some serious players here. Serious players. But yeah, listen, Nikita, it's been great having you on the show. One of the best interviews I've had, I'll be honest with you. Very knowledgeable on the market. You're fun. You have a media background anyway. So quickly tell me about that. Tell me about your media experience. You had your own talk show, or what was it?
Yeah, so I was the host of CNBC Arabia's first ever Web3 show.
Wow.
I one day just went to went to some of the producers there, and I was like, hey, listen, like I can get on some pretty good people on the show. I just need a good platform to do it on.
Yeah.
And they're like, sure, who can you bring in? I was like, I'll bring in CZ, I'll bring in Pascal Gutierrez of Ledger, I'll bring in like the MD of Ripple. And they were like, who? I was like, just trust me.
Trust me, I'll do it. Yeah.
So yeah, I did that for a couple of months. And then, I went through a bit of a hard time after that and had to put the show on pause. So that was sad because I really enjoyed it. But the hard time was basically, I got attacked by some crazy guy in crypto, which is like probably happens to everybody in crypto.
Like a stalker.
Kind of. So basically what happened was we had an investor. Sorry. So we had an investor who commissioned a NFT artist to create some NFTs, and he had basically invested for the artist to spend on marketing and sell some of the NFTs. This was during the NFT hype. And as soon as we kind of started working, like a couple of months went by and the NFT market collapsed. Like the whole FTX thing happened. And this is like the start of the 700-day bear market that came after that. So obviously this guy wasn't able to sell any of his NFTs. And he had a few like hiccups with my team. Like we weren't aligned. We weren't seeing eye to eye on a couple of things. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm not saying Luna PR was perfect with how like we executed things with him. But this guy just kind of went ballistic on my team.
Wow.
Started like swearing, like started like abusing my team, like calling some of the girls like I don't know if I can swear up.
Yeah,
like, you bitch, like, you know, things like that over text. And it like really caught my team off guard. He started calling them at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. at night because he was based out of the US. And my team was like panicking. I had 3 people resign after that because of like how much, I guess, PTSD this guy gave them.
Yeah.
And there was just nothing I could do because I guess I didn't really see like how intense it was until like a few months went by and like it escalated to me, but the team was trying to manage it internally themselves. So when I came in, I was like, started going through all the messages and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we need to like terminate this right away, like terminate the account.
Yeah.
When I terminated the account, client was like, I want a refund. And I was like, look, like you paid for our time and our services and we've hit all our deliverables, all our KPIs.
Yeah.
And in the time frame that we promised you, like everything is done. So there's nothing I can refund you. And also we had some outgoing costs, like to pay like a couple of like
business
AMAs
stuff,
and at that time, like there was nothing I could refund him. And he was like, okay, I'm going to make your life hell until you pay me now 3 times of what I paid you. Wow. So he started extorting me for more money.
Oh dear.
And he started a website that like wesuck.com and like it was so stupid. And he started basically just kind of attacking me endlessly, like saying that like I'm gonna make your life hell. Wow. I started getting like anonymous messages on Telegram, hacked into my email, found my parents' home address, found my like uncle's and auntie's address in the US, threatened to kill, told them that he like, you don't want to see what can happen, just Google me. Wow. And he had already a couple of warrants out for his arrest for storming the White House and like crazy things. Like this guy just like started attacking me, attacking my family. And then I got lawyers and then he started attacking the lawyer's family. He found the lawyer's daughter's address. Like it was so crazy. The lawyer started freaking out, went to the judge. The FBI had to like get involved. Like it was so crazy. And ultimately I just had to pay him off and be like, just back off. And that whole process took over a year.
Wow. And this, and the talk show that you had, it caused problems for that as well.
Yeah, because what happened was he basically went to some executives at the top co at NBC and started attacking them as well. And this is the wild, wild west of crypto.
Of course,
and some of the people in like these traditional older industries,
corporate.
They just corporate. Yeah, exactly. They don't understand that.
No,
They're
don't.
like, oh, what a hassle. We don't need that.
We don't need that.
In crypto, we kind of get used to it. We're like,
things happen, you move on. And
we're used to the cowboys in crypto. We know what to expect and we know how to handle them.
Yeah.
So the industry makes you super tough. I think being an entrepreneur in the crypto space is just a whole other ball game.
Nothing too much about the gambling industry.
I was going to say bald game. That too. It's a whole other bald game. I mean, it'll literally make you lose hair.
I mean, the gambling industry is a bit wild, but yeah, it's
that too.
It's a match. You sort of just brush things off and just be like, okay, another one, like another casino went down or whatever. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. So, at least you still have a great head of hair.
Yes, of course. Stress-free now. Stress-free now. I've been in the game 10 years. This is not real.
You just get used to it, right?
You're
just like, okay, no BS, whatever.
No, of course, whatever.
Continue.
Let's move on next.
Yeah.
So from them sort of trying difficult times, Luna PR has excelled, right? And on a positive note, building the team bigger, more events, and a positive future ahead, which is obviously what's most important. It's been great having you on. I could sit and talk to you all day. We've got such good banter, such good business chat. Little present from our main sponsor, 0x Processing. Okay, please give them a follow and like and a comment. I really appreciate it. On behalf of myself, BetTalks, and 0x Processing, Nikita, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
You so
thank you very much. Good luck with the future.
Rick.
Luna PR, check them out. Crypto Polo Cup, Crypto Polo Cup, and yeah, all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.